Hey, it's Chief Bonnie with Board Games and RPGs. We're back with Death in Space. What? That first show was put out like over a year ago. Yes, it finally hit 500. When a show hits 500, it's got some traction. I will make more shows for it. Some of my ideas or systems simply die and they kind of go away unless I really want to go back to them. But this one hit 500 and I had a comment, name coming up here, that said, please tell us more about Callie Diaz. We'll get to her in a second. I may also use Perilous Void to help me out with some creation things. But Death in Space has a lot going on. Think the universe is collapsing, dystopian space. If you've got a spacesuit, you better have somebody that can patch it, rewire it, clean it, defog the glass, replace it. Whatever needs to be done when you use stuff, it's liable to break on you. So everything is failing. Now, my main character's here. The AI ship is called Yai. He's an AI, ancient AI. The original specs were that he ran, or it ran, the food services, which meant a hydroponic bay, a food making device, delivery, nutrient supplements, things of that nature. Yai now runs this ship and controls hydroponics. Grapevines stretch all throughout the hallways, and there's vines that grow, but they're used to make wine and sherry, distilled spirits. They can make different types of food items, and he delivers them. It delivers them to anybody that can pay. And nobody wants to kill the golden goose. So if you're in power and you're a cultist, well, you don't agree with Yai, but you definitely wouldn't mind having your ceremonial wine. Okay, or you're running an underground gang organization, everything's illegal, everything's highly wrong, but you do need spices. Here's the idea. Yai goes through crew, probably like these folks go through spaceships or spacesuits, and he got a brand new crew. Sask Higgins, probably underfed, undernourished, malnourished, tall, skinny, has a green thumb, not dexterous at all, but not too savvy, but good on tech. He was tasked to go get more crew. He went to an orphanage on a hub, which would be a space station. Found some hub kids. They were suspicious. They didn't trust him. This guy don't have no ship. He's got no ship. This is a setup. He's a creep. But Callie Diaz, who's 4, our other character that we have, goes up and says, what are you doing, mister? And she's smart and spunky and very technical, but she's 4. She ends up becoming the next member of the crew. Where we left them last is she is PTSD'd at 4. Either she imagines someone's hunting her, or they are. We don't know. She's also very tech savvy, and Yai was just teaching them how to use the hydroponic bay to grow potatoes. Now, an interesting thing with this show is that this feels to me a lot like pick up and deliver. You know, they may be trying to find spices in one area and deliver sherry in another, or wine over here, or potatoes over there. The system uses a D20. If you have advantage or disadvantage, you roll 2 D20. We're going to go here. So, you know what? I don't know where we're starting. I'm also using Mythic, the Mythic emulator, to ask yes/no questions. I do believe we're going to roll, and I need my percentiles. I think an order comes in. There's a main frame for Yai, and I think he gets an order. But does he? We don't know. I think that's a 50-50 shot. I would imagine orders come in routinely. So an order comes in, 50%, 93. Wow, 93 is not only no, it's hell no, heck no. So with Mythic, you can have yes, no's or extreme yes, no's. I think 15%, the bottom or top percent. So this is not only no, it's heck no. There are no orders coming in. Matter of fact, either Yai can't fulfill orders, that might be what that means, like they are coming in, but he's unable to fulfill. That could be it, that would be pressure. Or they don't have anything to sell. Let's go with the pressure. I think not only are there orders coming in, there's always orders that are in. They're popping in. But the way this world works, or this universe works, this part of it, is everybody knows that just because you want something doesn't mean you get it. Bingo, that's it. So Yai is always looking at what is wanted, what the payment for said item would be, and then doing his best to fulfill orders that he can fill. Fulfill orders he can fill. All right? So we're going to be fulfilling, there's orders. We don't have it yet, but we need it. You know what? I didn't put my scratch paper out here. I need a pad. One moment. This is going to be an action subject with this mythic oracle, and it's going to tell me what is probably either worth the most money or something that we're close to being able to get. So that's what I'm looking for under the action 38. 38 is inform. So this also means I'm going to have to conform this because it's over some type of food item. Inform, I don't know what that would be. Could be mushrooms. Sometimes I hear they inform or enlighten. Maybe that's it. We'll see. Or three under subject, environment. So inform, environment. Now you can roll up to 3 times on both of these sections here. Inform, environment. All right, I'm going to go with that. That is some kind of psychedelic mushrooms. The whole cover here kind of feels, this foil cover feels a little psychedelic. So mushrooms and some kind of we'll just call them magic mushrooms, okay? Inform, environment. Got it, okay? So there is a high order out for this. So Yai comes, Yai talks over, there's little eyes kind of everywhere, and that's his logo too, you've seen it. But there's these little, almost like Hal eyes that he can see in every room, probably even in your sleeping quarters. I think he would be everywhere. He's nosy, it's his ship. Makes him, is he good, is he bad? Well, he's saving at least Sask and Callie. An order's in, an order for magic mushrooms. The hydroponic bay can grow mushrooms, no problem with fungi, but I would say to get this particular kind, they're going to have to go to a particular space station, maybe one that is known as the Rot. I like it. The Rot. So it's a space station that has, and forever has had, problems probably with their system cleaning, and there is too much moisture, everything's rotting, but it's a good place to get the magic mushroom spores that they need. So we're headed there. Love it. All right. We only have 2 people. Now, Sask does have a suit he can put on that's very form-fitting. I'll pop that photo up now. It even has a chain gun that sits up on his shoulder. And the cool thing with it is if he's wearing it and he gets into something, it's quite powerful. Not only does it help him with his body motions, protect him from space, but it also has the gun that can either fire 3 times on one person or individually target 3 people. That's the big kicker, that the ship has stuff. It's collected things over the years, and there are little, treasure troves hidden away. But it has nothing for a 4-year-old. However, a 4-year-old can get in and out of places that maybe grown-ups can't. So we're going to fulfill this. Now, the way Mythic works, which we're going to use here, is we're going to simply traverse through space. Yai's going to fly the ship, Yai, and we're going to see if anything alters or interrupts this scene. Mythic uses a chaos factor. 5 is your standard. If you roll a 5 or less, there's either an interrupt, which would mean even number, or an altered scene, which is odd. Altered or interrupted. First of all, 5 10-sided die, 5 or less, 9. Got it. We fly through the voids of space without a problem. Yai's been here before. The problem is not usually getting to this space station called the Rot. The problem's getting in and out. I would imagine without becoming infested with spores. So the first thing is, Yai explains, you do not want to inhale these. There is enough rot in this hub that if you're not from there, the odds of you surviving breathing the air there is nil. All right, so it requires a type of spacesuit. We've already covered that. Well, can some type of at least helmet be configured to fit Callie? Because we talked about how a little person might be able to slide in and out. Sure it can. I have no problem with that. So both Sask and Callie are in play. Is it a stealth mission? I think it has to be. I think they want to breach in quietly. This place has to have people living on it. We've already talked about if you're from there, you can breathe the air. It's not as hazardous. I doubt there's too much there, but we know there's magic mushrooms there. So the first thing is Yai has to make an approach that is going to allow him to sneak in blindly. We do know that one of his powers as an AI is a natural communication with other computer and AI systems. And I do believe he would trade something with a system on this hub programming if he can. I like that. All right, but can he do it? We know he has a native ability to do it, so I want to use Mythic to see if from a distance he's going to go stealthy if he can work out a deal with the mainframe for the Rot. I think it's likely, 75%. I'm going to use this to keep things flowing. 75%, 58. He's able to link in with some type of mainframe computer on the hub. They'll be able to come in blind. He shared code or paid in whatever way possible. Obviously, another computer system is not interested in food. So we're coming in not on anybody's radar. With that, I have no doubt that the Rot's mainframe was able to tell him where there's probably even some of these big space stations, they're gargantuan. They're cities in and of themselves. So there's a tip, at least on a region, where the likelihood of magic mushrooms being found is more possible. We slide into that. We come up for the dock. I don't think we're going to do anything with an access hatch. I think we're going to cut in. So we're first going to go to the tech savvy. Sask is fully outfitted, photo up. He's even got the gun. Callie has this taped together helmet to make sure it's sealed. I'm going to make a note. If she gets into any kind of action, we're going to have to do probably some randomizers to see if her oxygen supply gets compromised with any of the fungi. So if she gets stressed in any way, there's a chance that the air seal will have failed. We'll check on that because that could put her at risk where she's going to need to be at least medically treated, which I would probably be able to do. But there's a chance we could lose her. I hope not. I like Callie. But nobody's going to be safe in here. Yai maneuvers in, no problem. I think either holds close station or has a way that normally you would dock, like think suction, like it comes down, suctions, pumps out any, vacuum of space in that area. Now we can cut in. Yeah, and if you're really nice, you'll seal that back up when you leave, which we probably will. Unless we're in a hurry, then we blow and go. Oh, a blow and go. We'll use that in the future, a blow and go. Does the connection itself make any kind of, I imagine there could be some mechanical noise with just where we're connecting in. We know we're not going to set off any, we're making our own holes, so we're not setting off any kind of sensors. But I think, you just never know. I think it's very unlikely, but we could at least cause enough noise that someone's aware that there's some presence outside the ship. 25 or less, someone's aware on the hub. Woo, a 2. That's not only yes, that's hell yes. Now, Sask and Callie and Yai wouldn't know this, but 2 out of 15%, oh yeah, are very unlikely. I needed a 5 or less. That's a strong yes. So not only has someone heard it, you have someone who can fight it off or challenge. So we're going to have a problem as soon as the cut takes place. Got it. All right. Well, we might get into combat here quick. So chain gun 3d6. I did not bring my d6 over. I'm probably going to need them now at this point in time. I'm hoping, boy, Callie's -2 savvy, and so is Sask. We're not savvy. The odds of us talking through this. Now, I did do, I did want a sheet for Yai. It's weird because he's got a ship, or he is a ship, or it's a ship, and it is a sheet. He has savvy 3, and his tech is 3. It would probably be even higher. It's his ship. No body, no dexterity. All right, so first thing is, I may need to get the D6 if we're going to get into combat. If that happens, I'll go get him. Is Yai able to pick up? I would imagine he would have sensors. So the cutting is beginning, and the idea is to cut through this hub plate enough that they can enter in and go get some magic mushroom spores and then grow them in the hydroponic bay, in and out, but it's not going to be in and out. So with his tech of 3 or savvy of 3, let's go with tech, he's just doing a reading of the area. I don't think there's any advantage to this, no advantage, disadvantage. I just want to see, is he able to pick up human life on the other side? Ooh-wee. Wow, 19. I said, ooh-wee. 19 plus 3. Not only did he need to get to 12 or better, he's gotten a 22, which is like a critical success. It's not clean, it's not pure. We're going to go with a ruling. I haven't looked up. I get my systems confused sometimes. But I'm going to say he's able to, not only does he pick them up, he picks up an ambush is waiting. And immediately Yai says, Sask, hold. We have, what would he call humans? We have bios. Yeah. I'm detecting multiple biosignatures literally on the other side of the hole. So he knows either noise was made or the deal with the AI on the rot was compromised. The hold order has come. So you got little Callie sitting there like with her duct taped helmet on, sealed and ready to go. Well, she's not ready for any combat. Sask, we know, has a confidence problem. Now he's wearing this awesome Bat A suit with this chain gun on there, the 3D6 that he'll be able to add to an attack. But this is not a crew that's going to do a hostile entry. No way. I am going to attempt, with advantage, a contact with the hub rot AI. I have no doubt that Yai would reach out, trying to figure out, am I compromised by this AI? In which case we might even have a problem sailing out of here. Or, if not, can this AI assist in some way? I like it. All right, so again, we need a success. I'm going to go with savvy, being the communication back and forth between these AIs. It would be rapid, almost instantaneous. He has a +3 for savvy. He's going to communicate with this AI. I'm going to give it advantage because of the prior contact. So I'm taking the higher. Wow, 3 and 4. Hard fail. That tells me that the AI he was working with is either in on it or is completely compromised. And his link to it is not only does it not answered, there is like a feedback coming down the line, and Yai immediately severs whatever the contact was they were using, knowing that something's afoot, and tells Sask, seal back in the ship, we're out. That's it. This is a bust. Wow. Okay, thought we would get in. So, Yai is the one who would be aware here. If there's a problem at the hub AI level, there could very well be someone looking to engage in ship-to-ship combat if he bails. Can he stay close to the ship or stay close to the hub and linger? Or is it best to just bail out of there fast? I don't think you're going to want to linger. Either way, the hub is either in on it or compromised. It's time to bail. So looking at my ship information, it's an old Chrome ship. Condition is 5. Currently I have fuel of 6, standard chemical power source, but it's slow. So I do have an output power of 4. Now I'm not up on all of this, but I do have a great hull integrity. But man, I've got a slow. I'm not some kind of speedster. Ooh, I got it. Let's fall back on what we know Yai is good at. Yai has human connections everywhere because of his procurement of food. Well, that's it. There's got to be some group on the rot that's probably powerful that wouldn't mind making a deal for food. So Yai's not going to try to run. He's going to attempt a contact with a known set of people on this ship. I think the odds, we got to see, first of all, is there someone he knows on here? I think it's a sure thing, just being aware of the rot. He wanted to get in and steal the spores and get out. Why pay when you can take it for free? But now that's not an option. He reaches out to a more powerful group, but can he reach them, especially under pressure, especially last minute? Obviously tipping his hand a little bit that he was going to try to get the items for free. But I need a 90 or less. Can he even make contact with whatever the group is? 71. Yes on the contact. Okay? Some other yes-no questions. Let's start with, and I don't know, so I'm going to go 50-50. Is it whatever like the standard people in power are? So it would be, you know, whatever the political group is and their constabulary, who he was trying to bypass. Is that who he's reaching out to? 50-50, first nod to them. If not, it'll be a criminal organization. 87, it's not the constabulary. Well, then it's got to be whatever the lead criminal organization is that runs things on this hub. So they're not in power, but they're running the black market. They're running all things illegal. And I'm in contact with them. So for this, let me get a name. I believe somewhere in here is a huge list of names. And it's funny, I haven't used Perilous Void in a show yet, so this will be the first time. So I'm going to get an NPC trait and then a detail. The trait on this person we're talking to, oh, it's 100, sorry. Wait, first it was 2, meaning it's a positive trait. Now we're rolling under positive trait for 80. 80 is principled, which means he may be a little, or she, may be a little bit mad that we didn't go through them at first. Even female, odd male. Odd. So we have a principled male. So we know it's a man. And the NPC detail. So again, a 10-sided die. 2 means features. 52. 52 is a notable mouth or lips. He's got the cleft palate. So he's got a cleft palate. Little bit of a lisp. Not too bad. All right, so we know he's principled. He has a cleft palate, even though he's part of the criminal underground. So he's a criminal who's principled. And, come on, where's a list of general names? All right, I've got it. They've got a name and then a surname. It looks like it's combined together maybe here. Oh, no, I see. All right, so 12. 12 is BRU, the first part. This is his first name. BRU and 58. We go to Brumar. Well, that's it. That's all we need to know. Brumar. All right, so Brumar is principled. He runs a criminal organization. Yai reaches out to him. The first question is, we don't know this, what if these are Brumar's guys? So as we reach out, that could be helpful. It just means it's going to cost us money. Are these 50-50? Are the people that are alerted and waiting for the finishing cut? I think we pulled in and removed that just in case we did need to try to skedaddle. Are these Brumar's guys? 50 or less is a yes. 12. I think the message goes out. Brumar picks up and, being principled, says, Yai, you're trying to go around me again. You know the rules. You followed the rules. If you want the magic mushrooms, you got to go through me. And I think Yai simply says, it's cheaper when I don't, Brumar. It's cheaper when I don't. Brumar says, oh, it almost cost you everything this time, Yai. It's going to cost you double what it would have if you would have just come through the front door. Oh! So, no problem. I've got the ability to grow more. I'll even hold back some of these spores, probably in some kind of frozen stasis, so I don't have to come back here and pay what is going to be a painful price to Brumar. I tell Brumar, you've always been more principled than me, Brumar. I'll gladly pay double, but you need to get me what I want. And eject it, where I will recover it. And I think Brumar says, Yai, you don't trust me. And he says, Yai says, I think he's a little cheeky, says, well, my pride is hurt today. Brumar says, you drop the credits, double. I'll eject it wherever you want it. Deal. All right, so this is going to cost some money. We haven't covered money, but I guess it could be not just money, it could be goods. Does Brumar take a case of wine or a bag? I would have bet rather than a glass, it's going to be like a bag of wine. That would be the way to deliver it. And instead of one bag, it's going to be two. This sounds pricey as hell. Does he take it? Yeah, that's got to be liquid gold. And kind of like your box, your wine box in the fridge, the way that bag works, it keeps that wine fresh in there. That's exactly how it would be delivered. But it's going to cost 2 bags of wine, 2 bladders of wine. So we're starting to get a barter economy that's going to be going on. 2 bladders of wine. Again, I don't think anybody's looking at killing the golden goose, but I would imagine Yai, knowing he's only got a 4-year-old and Sask on board, would not want to show the weakness of like a face-to-face meeting, in which case he could at the very least take damage or have to pay more if there was like hostages. So this standoff procedure's good. Okay. I think he tells Sask to bundle up 2 bladders. They're connected together. There's no doubt that Brumar sends out a tether, and I'm sure Yai, the ship, is able to put the bladders into a cargo area, open it up, and send these bladders that are all properly pressurized, depressurized, through space, and there's a grapple exchange. Now, I would imagine that's part of the safety of this trade-off, is that, you know, they're both coming out with their items, and you're able to scan these, I'm sure. So this would be a scanning of, well, yeah, it looks like there's spores on there, and yeah, there's definitely a liquid in here. Not that you can tell exactly, but they're both exchanged and pulled back in. But it costs, I gotta tell you, I think 2 bladders of wine is exorbitant. But Brumar knows Yai needs these fungi. He knows their power, and he knows that he tried to sneak through the back door. Deal. All right, we have the spores. I'm going to pause this episode right here. The spores are in hand. These spores would be easy to probably create a paste and layer in, and once they're on board, let me do a quick check. I think it has to be 95%, so there could still be a fail here, that these are good spores. We sent over good wine, but I would imagine Brumar, being principled, would send us good spores. But it's always good to check 22, and 22 is a double at or below our cast factor, which means there's going to be a random event. This is perfect. We'll get to use the Mythic Emulator to do a random event, and then we will close this episode down. These are great spores. So the random event, we're going to look for an event focus first. Again, percentile dice. 52. 52 gives us move away from a thread. Okay. We haven't created that many threads other than Callie's being hunted by somebody. Sask has like all kinds of confidence problems. And we have the idea that somebody wants the magic mushrooms. For now, the thread we will move away from is that Callie's being hunted. It could mean that this was in her head or not, but I want to do an action subject to see why are we moving away from this thread. So the way this works is I have like a chapter sheet that'll show threads and NPCs and different characters or events, and you'll erase a thread off as you come across things. So, but let's see, why would we move away from Callie being, that's my chair, Callie being hunted? 87. 87 is work hard, okay? 28, pleasures, work hard, pleasures. Okay, I got it. The reason we're moving away from this thread is that Yai, as he gets his chances, Callie's working hard and it's pleasing as far as a program can be pleased. And I think he sees the growth potential, literally and figuratively, from Callie. So he puts together a data packet and he has been inserting it. I think one probably went into the Rod Hub. One went into the Kid Hub where we got the kids. And he has placed this data packet to kind of disrupt the trail of Callie Diaz. If someone is looking, there's not going to be anything to find. And it may even alert, I like it, it may even alert back to Yai. Good. That actually kills one thread, but creates another one. We're moving away from, not destroying a thread. So, Callie will not be actively hunted, but it's possible that if something were to trigger, kind of through these random events, something could pop up on Yai's data packet that alerts him to, here's the folks, giving him the heads up on who's coming for her, or at least interested in finding her. All right, when we return, we are going to be delivering the magic mushrooms. And we may even see if Sask and Callie, a 4-year-old, being enlightened by magic mushrooms. Maybe we're in a dystopian, different universe with an AI named Yai in charge. If there's any chance these magic mushrooms would open up that third eye, ooh, he's definitely got to do it. They will experience a magic mushroom enlightenment. And who knows what kind of magic mushrooms these are. They could have been genetically developed to do exactly that. Who knows? We'll cover that. But do me a favor, you as the viewer, if you've tuned in this long, for other people to see, you got to like it. Comments on it are great. That's what got me back into filming it, was, you know, the interest in how odd or creepy or whatever's going on with Callie Diaz. And I was like, yeah, I've been wanting to return to her as well and see who she turns into. So, if you like it, you help me out. I'm terrible with spreading the word. I like to just create. I'm not good about spreading. Spread the word. Chief, bonding with board games and RPGs, Death in Space. There's my wheel again. You can find this at Freely Games out of Sweden. Great, great game. Art is beautiful. Chief, bye.